They wrote the story before wheels touched the ground. Headlines waiting to pull them down. Muted welcome, they said out loud. The truth was never in that crowd. They landed quiet, no royal parade, just open hands and the choices they made. A hospital hallway, soft voices, small hands, moments that no headline understands. Children smile and nurses stand still. Time slowed down in that Melbourne hill. No crown required, no script to read, just presence, just showing up for need. And somewhere between the noise and the claim, people remembered why they came. Australia, you saw them clear, beyond the noise, beyond the fear, where kindness leads, where hearts still glow. You welcomed them and let it show. They showed up, they did good, just like they said they would. And through the noise, the truth stood tall. Love answered louder than it all. A sunlit room, no throne, no stage, just lived experience on the page. You spoke of pressure, loss and pain. Before the Duke and Duchess of Sussex ever set foot in Australia, the verdict had already been written in certain corners of the press. Not reported, written, packaged, sold. They were headlines sharpening their knives before the plane had even taken off or landed. They were panels rehearsing outrage before a single handshake, a single visit, a single child's smile, a single speech. And what does that tell us about all of this? It tells us that for Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the story is too often prepared in advance, with reality expected to obediently trail behind it. But reality has a stubborn habit of interrupting fiction, because when Harry and Meghan arrived in Australia, something else happened. Crowds gathered, cameras waited, hospitals welcomed them. People came not because they had to, but because they wanted to, but because also interest in them remain real, human, and enduring. And that, perhaps, is what irritates their critics the most, or at least today, or perhaps yesterday. Pick an issue, and it will irritate the critics. Not simply that Harry and Meghan survived the attacks, but that they continue to draw warmth, curiosity, and support in spite of them. So today we're going to walk through sort of the full picture of the Australian visit, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, for now, the good, I would say it's the public response, the purpose, the work, the crowds, the engagement. The bad? Well, the cynical framing, the headlines crafted for resentment, the attempt to reduce every appearance into controversy. And the ugly, the machinery behind it all, the ecosystem of distortion that tries to turn presence into provocation and service into scandal. This is not just a story about a visit. It is a story about narrative warfare. Yeah, you heard me. Warfare. About what happens when two people carry not only public interest, but public projection. about what happens when a couple arrives in a country and some in the media behave less like observers and more like border guards of public emotion, deciding in advance who deserves welcome and who deserves suspicion. And yet, there they were. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan in Australia, still standing, still working, still drawing people, still generating meaning, still forcing an old machine to reveal itself. Welcome. This is Majesty Sussex Report, and I'm Antonio. Thank you for spending some of your very valuable time here with us. Please don't go anywhere. A summit room, no throne, no stage, just lived experience on the page. You spoke of pressure, loss and pain, and how you don't have to break to change. You don't have to fall, he said out loud. Before you ask, before you bow, strength is found in reaching through and saying, I need help too. And in the room the silence broke, not from weakness but from hope. Australia, you felt it there. In every truth they chose to share. Not perfect lives, but honest ones.
Harry and Meghan have drawn cheers and applause, winning hearts as they began their whirlwind Australian visit right here in Melbourne.
The Duke and Duchess of Sussex kicked off their 4-day tour at the Royal Children's Hospital, creating some memorable moments for staff, patients and their families. Edward Godfrey begins our coverage.
They may divide public opinion, but at the Children's Hospital, a royal welcome for Harry and Meghan. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex beginning their Australian visit, lifting the spirits of some of Melbourne's sickest and youngest patients.
He was lovely. He asked me how the care was, and I had to point out how gorgeous and how lovely our nurses are, and they take such good care of us.
Scarlett McGowan met the late Queen Elizabeth right here in 2011 when she opened the new RCH. She's now met her grandson too.
He asked me how the food was.
What did you tell him?
Oh, you know, it's hospital food, but no complaints.
No complaints, just big smiles, happy tears and selfies as Harry and Meghan made their rounds. And a big hug for 12-year-old Novalee Morris.
I recently found out I was diagnosed relapsed with leukemia for the 4th time, so this meeting today just really brightened up my day.
And it seemed to brighten theirs. 4-year-old Lily able to whip up a card and gift for Meghan with only short notice.
I just love Meghan's dress, it was so pretty.
That dress, a navy sleeveless design by Sydney's Karen G, swiftly posting about it online.
When I saw Meghan, I said, hi, welcome to Australia, here's a flower.
The foyer, staircases and corridors packed with families and staff. Harry and Meghan meeting doctors, treating chronic adolescent conditions and talking footy, albeit with some confusion around the codes.
I told you you're a big soccer fan.
Football, AFL.
AFL, who's your team?
St Kilda.
Are they doing well on the own?
Once, twice.
This may have some of the hallmarks of a royal tour, but this is very different to the 2018 visit. There'll be limited interaction with the public. This is really a rare chance for people to get up close with the couple. Much has changed since their first visit down under together when they announced Meghan was pregnant with now 6-year-old Archie and later welcoming Lilibet. They're no longer working royals, choosing to live in sunny California and have an icy relationship with the rest of the royal family. Their arrival this time round comparatively low-key, touching down aboard a Qantas flight from Los Angeles.
They were super friendly around the toilet areas.
Travelling commercial with their own private security and an unclear arrangement around taxpayer-funded support.
I'm not in a position to comment on the individual travel plans and arrangements of any private citizen that travels to this state.
Meghan travelling solo this afternoon, visiting a homeless shelter for women and even serving up lunch.
How hungry are you? One of the bigger ones, yeah? Okay. Here, but you want some salad as well?
before being rejoined by her hubby Harry to meet veterans' families.
Are you enjoying being in Australia?
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's great to be back.
Anything to say to the Australian public?
Oh, thanks for having us back.
Although not everyone's quite so welcoming.
Keep it private! Keep disrespecting the Queen! Woo!
Edward Godfrey, 9 News.
Okay, well,
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking around. So, the first thing to understand is that the mood was being shaped before the trip even began. There were stories focused on cost, on security, disruption, on whether Australians even wanted them there. This is one of the oldest tricks in the book. Define the visit as a burden before it begins, so that any appearance of normal public protection can be framed as extravagance, and any appearance of public enthusiasm can be downplayed as theatrical or selective. What makes this especially dishonest is that high profile visitors, especially global figures like Harry and Meghan, will always trigger security assessment. Always. We just don't hear about it or know about it. That is not indulgence. That is standard practice. Countries protect high profile visitors because the risk is real. The optics matter. And public safety matters. But in the case of the Sussexes, routine security is often weaponized into a culture war talking point. So the question was never really about safety. It was about resentment, or more precisely, about manufacturing resentment.
Hey, that doesn't sound right. Little Tony explains. Little Tony explains.
G'day, Antonio and beautiful Majesty Sussex people. I'm down under. Not sure why Australia is called down under. Yesterday, this nice lady asked me if I wanted lollies. I said, "Lady, I'm a baby." Then they told me, after the lady left, that lollies means candy. So I missed out on free candy. And rocket is arugula. Brekkie is breakfast. Different English here. Okay, roll the tape.
Of Sussex at the Royal Children's Hospital in Melbourne, their first stop on their visit to Australia. Well, Harry and Meghan will meet several charities on their privately funded tour before taking part in commercial engagements. So, Adam, what exactly does that mean, a commercial engagement?
Well, I mean, basically, they're pay-per-view, if you want to put it that way. Harry is giving a speech, and people are going to have to buy their tickets for that. And there's also an opportunity, I think it's a wellness day with Meghan, where she, I think, was charging over £1,000 for people to come and spend that day, well, for women to spend that day with her. So they are trying to make some money out of this. But they were a popular couple when they did a tour in Australia shortly after their marriage, and they are, use the word commercial. They're certainly looking into commercial opportunities. In fact, there's one day when Meghan hasn't got any public engagements, and it's thought that she will be exploring business opportunities.
Is she still behind me? She thinks I'm her baby. Okay, let's clarify a few things. The visit is privately funded. That is not disputed. They are using their platform, earned, inherited, and undeniable, to shine a light on charities and communities that benefit from that attention. One does not need permission from the firm to do good in the world. They are no longer working royals under the institution. They are independent. So where exactly is the violation? Point to the law. Point to the rule. Point to the line they have crossed. Show me the constitutional principle that says a non-working royal, not under the firm, is forbidden from supporting charities while also earning a living. Because what is being suggested is not grounded in principle, it is grounded in irritation. And irritation is not a standard of conduct.
And little Tony, the interesting thing that I find is that they all behave as if this has never been done before, this is all new, this is territory we have never crossed. I mean, do they not know of Prince Michael of Kent and his wife? I mean, they've had a long history of giving speeches and taking on engagements that some are public and some are private, and they're commercially linked. So his own office states that he does not receive public funding via the sovereign grant and instead earns a living through a private consultancy business, while also doing about 1,000 plus engagements over the last 4 years or so for charity, military, and other organizations. So that obviously implies a distinction between unpaid public service engagement and private commercial work. Ta-da! It's been done for years. But Meghan and Harry doing it, oh, this has never been done. This is not what the Queen wanted. So he regularly gives keynote speeches and closing remarks at conferences and industry events. Regularly. Now, there's some scandal there also because there is some very interesting relationship that he's got with Russia. Okay? Interesting. I think Channel 4 Dispatches did in 2021 an undercover investigation. And anyone who wants to know what that was all about, look it up. So he charges, also his wife does speeches too, keynote speaking. So his fee, and this is for a pre-recorded speech, and it says a pre-recorded speech with a royal endorsement and Kensington Palace backdrop is estimated to cost, you'll have to pay up $200,000. 200,000, or the equivalent of about 143,000 pounds. And they're worried about Prince Harry and Meghan. Oh, they're making money off of their titles. They're making money off of their titles. This is what the Queen was so worried about. You hypocrites. Hypocrites, all of them, because they know this.
Times, doesn't it? Which looks, like they're very popular still. You said they were, but it looks like they still have a lot of people there. The Mail, in its wisdom, has actually counted out the cost of Meghan's outfit, and I'm presuming these are US dollars.
Is it one outfit? Also?
This outfit, that they say the Duchess's outfit for the first day of her tour was worth about $52,000.
A cost? I'm not sure it's worth it.
Adam.
I mean, no outfit's going to be worth $52,000, let's face it, right? I mean...
The Daily Mail wants you to believe Meghan Sussex dropped £57,000 on a 4-day Australia wardrobe. Outrageous, right? But that's not what happened. Meanwhile, TV commentators like Ingrid Seward said it was immoral for her to wear expensive Australian designers to a women's shelter. Here's the problem with both arguments. They're built on lies.
And unpleasant, the thought that you are advertising your not very attractive clothes, I have to say. They're not gorgeous clothes at all. When you're hugging people, again, it's just Meghan thinking about Meghan. It makes you feel that, her hugging and, sympathising with grief and everything doesn't mean a thing because at the back of her mind is a dollar sign.
Oh, Ingrid, you just called Australian designers' clothes unattractive on national television. How do you think that lands in Sydney? But Caroline Marcus recycled the same tired tabloid talking points.
Tone deaf to wear a designer outfit that collectively was worth tens of thousands of dollars when you take her watch and the jewellery into account to a women's homeless shelter. Not the right place. Literally read the room, Meghan. Do what Princess Kate would wear. Wear an outfit you've worn before, probably from the high street, which means an inexpensive brand. Wear a pair of trainers. Just look look like you're not trying to show off. Like, it was a beautiful outfit, and the dress was an Australian designer, which is nice. But I do find it a little bit sick.
Sky News Australia tried the same thing. Too expensive for a women's shelter, too polished, too wrong. Enter Elliot Garnott, an Australian fashion correspondent who actually brought facts and reasons to the discussion.
She wore the outfit that she was actually wearing to her engagement that morning. So, if anything, I think it's showing a little bit of frugality from the Duchess of Sussex that she didn't do a cosy change in between commitment 1 and 2. And ultimately...
Exactly. But some folks don't want nuance, they want a villain.
To be honest, it's significant for any brand, but when it comes to the smaller independent designers, this genuinely can change the trajectory of their entire business. So I think that Karen G has actually been on the record and said that she's felt the Meghan effect. And for this to come back and have a moment again, I mean, I'm sure she's just pinching herself in her Sydney-based studio.
This is the story the Mail doesn't want you to see. While they were counting her jewelry twice and calling her vile, Australian designers were selling out globally. Small businesses got international exposure just from her wearing their designs. Meghan's team reached out directly to local brands, not the other way around. She used her platform to spotlight Australian fashion, and the industry loved her for it. The real scandal isn't that Meghan wore Australian designers, it's that the British tabloids are still trying to sell a woman's wardrobe as a crime, while the designers she wore are quietly cashing in on the Meghan effect.
I'm watering some of
this is what happens when you're no longer quite a member of the royal family. You've got to make your own money.
Well, this is the thing. It's a far cry from the official state visits that they did as working royals, where it would all be about visiting charities and giving speeches on behalf of the British state. And, you know, to be fair to them, they've retired from that. Well, now they've taken a step back. I think the issue with them is they sort of want to have their cake and eat it, don't they? So they want to be private, they want to be left alone by the press, but then they do also love the media attention in some ways, and it's kind of hard just to take the good bits out of it without dropping the bad and the ugly, and I sort of feel that that's what they want to do. I think if they genuinely wanted to be outside of the public eye, they wouldn't be quite so showy as this.
No, I'm just going to update myself.
Still having to explain privacy to the mindless? Well, let's educate the stupid. Sorry, Antonio, they're real stupid. So, privacy? Wait, privacy means you disappear forever? No! That's not privacy, that's hiding. Privacy means when you're working, people can see you. When you're not working, you get to live your life. Just like William and Kate. They recently announced that they will be taking more time off to be with the kids, and they expect privacy since William will not be doing any royal engagements. You get it. Isn't this their 5th holidays of this year? So, why is it confusing only when it's Harry and Meghan? That's not confusion. That's selective understanding.
$52,000 includes, you're looking at me, includes a watch, which was thought to have belonged to the late Princess Diana, which sells for $48,000 new, though Meghan's would likely be priceless. So I'm going to uprate my figure of $50,000 if indeed.
Yeah, okay, that makes a bit more. Yeah, I was like $12.50.
But she might be being sponsored, of course, the designer.
Absolutely, in the influencer world that they now potentially inhabit. But we'll watch that for the next.
You know, on this 52, 50, 52, 56, whatever, $100 that Meghan's outfit, quote unquote, cost, they don't report Meghan's outfits. They construct a number. They routinely include inherited pieces, long-owned jewelry, and items worn repeatedly to inflate the total. Even media analysts have pointed out that coverage often fixates on Meghan's cost while ignoring context or comparable scrutiny elsewhere. So the question isn't what it costs, it's why the number is being built that way. And it's because the goal is sort of obvious. It's not to inform. It's to create an impression, right? Because what they want to happen is a sort of comparing Meghan with Kate. So the idea that Meghan is uniquely extravagant doesn't even hold up, though. In some analysis, Kate's wardrobe has actually averaged more expensive overall than Meghan's, actually, and some of it by a lot. So the narrative isn't about cost, it's about who gets criticized for it. And on this idea that what if that stayed in the royal family, that then Meghan wouldn't have to or they wouldn't have to pay for the outfits. That comment collapses under basic facts. Even as a working royal, Meghan's clothing was not funded by taxpayers for the most part. It was paid privately. So the idea that she suddenly now paying for her outfits is simply false. I'm sure many of you remember that King Charles famously, in conversation with Prince Harry, asked him about whether Meghan would continue acting or working, and then famously said that he didn't have money for her. Remember that? The £1 billion duchy doesn't have enough money to pay the black biracial woman for the work she will be doing on behalf of the crown. Incredible, right? And on this other point that they make, commercial versus royal tour. This is either they create the confusion, deliberately create this confusion. A royal tour is when you represent the monarch, the monarchy, the crown. It is founded by public resources, right? Taxpayers, governed by institutional rules. So a private visit is self-funded, independently organized, no obligation to the crown. So of course it's going to be two different things. It's two different things. I mean, a baby gets it. Why can't they? Of course they look differently. It's sort of like it went, and the whole thing, I'm gonna, sort of go an extra mile here with the whole privacy thing, right? This is one of those of the laziest talking points. Public work is not the same as private life. When they are at hospitals, conferences, community events, they are working, okay? Visibility is expected, photographs expected, interview expected. When they're not working, they are entitled to privacy. This is not contradiction. It is completely normal. And this whole privacy thing was not invented or created or even said by the Sussexes. This was invented by the tabloids, and now everyone takes it as if it was like out of the Bible. And her having their cake and eating it too. Oh, come on. They made a clean break. They are not working royals, not funded by taxpayers, not representing the crown. So they operate independently. The real contradiction, right, is they were criticized when they cost money. Now that they are not costing the taxpayers any money, they're also being criticized for earning money. That is not principle. That is shifting the goalpost everywhere and all the time. And then at the end, she says something like, "Oh, you have to take the ugly also." With the what? Excuse me. What exactly is the ugly? Where is the harm here? Because again, I say they're funding their own lives. They do private work, and the kind of work that they do is transparent. They continue charitable engagement. There is no scandal in this. Only commentary trying to invent one all the time. This isn't about ethics or about the rules or about any of that. It's about a narrative control. Because once Harry and Meghan stepped outside the institution and proved they could survive, and even strive. Without it, the story had to change. And for some, it still hasn't caught up with reality. That's what this is about. Okay, so some quick trivia. What is the IATA code for Qantas Airlines? What is the IATA code for Qantas Airlines? You have 5 seconds to guess. So in the chat or in the comment section. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you said QF, that is correct. QF is the airline IATA code for Qantas Airlines. Q as in Quebec, F as in Frank. And then came the actual arrival itself. And I mean, we all saw it, right? News crews, like hanging out at the airport. They had a countdown. They had when the plane actually touched down. One of the news presenters said, "And touchdown! The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have touched down in Australia." I mean, it became an event. They were interviewing passengers from the flight. So when that arrival happened, and as so often happens, the script that was written by hostile voices collided with visible reality. Media crews waited, people gathered. Interest was immediate. Their presence was newsworthy because they remain newsworthy, no matter how many headlines insist otherwise. And this is the contradiction at the center of the anti-Sussex industry. The same outlets that claim the public is tired of them cannot stop covering them. The same commentators who insist they are irrelevant, mobilize cameras, commentators, and outrage, right? The moment they appear. Irrelevance does not command this level of obsession. Relevance does. Relevance does. Their hospital visit in Melbourne became one of the clearest examples. What some try to minimize as a modest crowd was described by people on the ground as far more substantial, with patients, staff, parents, and members of the public turning out. That matters. Not because numbers are everything, but because truth matters. And in the Sussex story, even warmth must be rationed, right? Because the warmth showed by the public, the mutual warmth, in some corners of the media, to them, they said, no. Some people were kind and nice, So even warmth was being, in some sense, rationed in these commentators' review. Simple public affection becomes a dangerous substance all of a sudden. Simple public affection.
How is the UK and Australian media talking about Meghan and Harry? Well, let's discuss. And we've got some Australian front pages. So we had the Herald Sun, Sussex story as Meghan and Harry serve up smiles. We had the Courier Mail, royally chuffed Harry and Meghan turn on the charm on their first day of their unsanctioned royal tour. Okay. And also the front of the Age. Oops, and the Sydney Morning Herald, of course. And of course the UK papers didn't want to miss out either. The Daily Telegraph, Call Me Meg. We had the Times, and the Independent. And then we have a very salty headline from the Daily Mail today. How the Duke and Duchess of the Dollar are now doing everything the late Queen wants to avoid. Like work? To be fair, she was more of a hard worker than, say, William and Kate. Note, the Australian tabloids are no better than the UK. Mary versus Harry, who boosted it best? And while Meghan and Harry live their best lives, I'll leave you with this by the Independent. Meghan's business trip to Australia shows the tragedy of Prince Harry, the tragedy of the UK media and tabloids.
I am so excited because I received a little surprise the other day, and I wanted to open the box with you folks all the way from Switzerland. And I'm sure for most people who are in the Sussex community, when you say Switzerland, one of the first names that comes to mind is Miss Connie. So Connie sent me a package, and I'm going to try and get through this without being an emotional, stupid person. Okay, let's just open it, okay? Before I get stupid. All right. Am I doing this correctly? I think I am. Oops. Okay. Da 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 da. Oh, Ricola. This is great. Citron. I love both of these actually. This is wonderful. Thank you, Connie. And oh, there's some more. Ooh, I've never had this flavor. I don't think. This is fantastic. Actually. Let's open. I'll try it right now. Very good. Oh mon Dieu, chocolat. Le chocolat. Oh, pistachio chocolate. This is fantastic. Oh, I'm loving this. More chocolate! Oh, look at this. Look at this chocolate bar. Love it. Oh, there's a little card here too. Oh, look at the card is like, I guess it went through a tough customs. Oh, Toblerone. Look at that. Oh yes, I can't wait to open this because it's going to be fun. I love chocolate. Love. Okay, au revoir. What else do we... Ooh. I hope I didn't break anything. Uh-oh. I think the box probably, because it's like, it got wet, or maybe it went through snow or something. Oh, look at that. Oh, I feel special, but in a good way. Oh, magnifique. Connie, thank you so much. Look at that. And then you put it there. I love this. I absolutely love it. I've never seen. cup like that before. Like that's just very genius to design it so your stirring spoon. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Mini eggs. Mini eggs. I'm gonna so enjoy all of this. Connie, I don't know what else to say other than merci. Thank you so very much. This is just wonderful, 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 wonderful. And here is the card. What a cute little bug, ladybug. I'm not going to read what's inside. That is private, it's mine. Yeah, it got wet, I think, along the way. I'm just very moved. Thank you. Okay. I told you folks, I get very emotional very quickly. But here you go. This is from my desk, actually, that I work from. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so very much, Connie.
The New Orleans line, in the joy and in the ache, in every small step we take. Connie, you've got soul and shine. Yeah, your love outlasts all time. From Swiss skies to Spain's sweet heat, she finds the truth beneath your feet. Lotus blooming in her grace, lion strength, a calm embrace. She's a rhythm, she's a rhyme, she's a jazz note out of time. All the light she leaves behind dances through the ties that bind. From the bayou to the mountain trail, Connie's love will never fail. So let the horns blow soft and kind, for Connie the light she leaves behind.
Once again, thank you, Connie. I'm very moved. The last few days, I've been having these quite sort of out of nowhere. Just I've been getting very nauseous, and I think it is stress related. So, and my eyes kind of get, well, my sight, I should say, gets kind of blurry. So I usually just stop whatever I'm doing and go and I lie down. So the last couple of days, I've been saying, oh, the podcast live streaming is going to go up in 2 hours, or it's going to be ready at 3, or it's going to be ready at 9, and then it doesn't happen. Thank you for your patience, number one. Thank you for your graciousness and for your thoughts and well wishes. I don't know what to say. I do know what I would like to say, but there are certain things that are very, very personal, and this is, after all, online, and there's certain things I don't think it's just okay to just post online, and that is very private of your family and of yourself and so on. I just want to say that there's a lot of stressful things going on, and I'm doing my best to handle them and navigate what I need to navigate. And I thank you for your patience. So obviously this is not a live stream. I'm just going to upload this. This is part 1. Part 2 will be coming soon. There might be a part 3 because I have so much. There's so much material that I actually have and that I want to talk about. So once again, thank you. Thank you. This is a wonderful distraction for me. So please don't feel any, I don't know, feel what you need to feel. But I'm just saying this is a good distraction. I love doing this stuff. I love writing. I love finding ways. Sorry. I love finding ways to present this material to you folks in different ways, in creative ways, and to get the message out, right? That we in this community will not allow falsehoods, not allow this continuous harassment, abuse of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, and Prince Harry and their family. So I will continue to do what I need to do. And I thank each and every one of you for continuing to support this channel and all the other channels that are Sussex positive and out there doing their darned best. All right. So this is it for now. I will see if I can get part 2 completed and have that up as soon as I can, okay? I love you all. God bless. And thank you for your patience. I really appreciate it. Bye for now.
They wrote the story before wheels touched the ground. Headlines waiting to pull them down. Muted welcome, they said out loud. But truth was never in that crowd. They landed quiet, no royal parade, just open hands and the choices they made. A hospital hallway, soft voices, small hands, moments that no headline understands. Children smiling, nurses stand still, time slowed down in that Melbourne hill. No crown required, no script to read, just presence, just showing up for need. And somewhere between the noise and the claim, people remembered why they came. Australia, you saw them clear, beyond the noise, beyond the fear, where kindness lives, where hearts still glow. You welcomed them and let it show. They showed up, they did good, just like they said they would. And through the noise, the truth stood tall, love answered louder than it all. A summit room, no throne, no stage, just lived experience on the page. He spoke of pressure, loss and pain, and how you don't have to break to change. You don't have to fall, he said out loud, before you ask, before you bow. Strength is found in reaching through and saying, I need help too. And in tried to reduce it to a name, but how do you price a moment of care or a truth someone finally dares to share? When service heals the one who gives, when purpose becomes the way you live. What they called commercial, what they denied was something deeper they couldn't hide. Because the people saw, the people knew. Australia, your light broke through and showed the world what love can do. Not titles, not noise, not what they claim, but human hearts that feel the same. They showed up, they did good, not for headlines, but because they could. And through the storm, through every call, truth stood steady above it all. They wrote the story before they arrived, but you rewrote it just by being kind.